And last but not least at all is Lauren Hitt.
What did the salmon say when they ran into the wall? Damn! Then what did the salmon say when we change how the dam is operated? In the 21st century, dammed waterways are ubiquitous and critical for maintaining human societies and agriculture. But traditional dam management presents challenges for fishes, especially migratory fishes like salmon that hatch in rivers, swim out to sea and live in the ocean for a few years, then migrate back to the same river where they were born to lay their own eggs and die. When traditional dams block waterways and make parts of rivers run dry, rivers lose their local salmon populations, and their communities lose the ecological, economic, and cultural values of salmon. So it's important for us to understand how changing the ways we operate dams can improve conditions for fish, and maybe even bring back salmon populations to rivers that were once inaccessible because of dams. One test case for this comes from our very own backyards here at UC Davis, in a beloved local waterway called Putah Creek. A community-led lawsuit required that the dams operating on Putah Creek change their operations to be more suitable for supporting native fishes, as populations of species like salmon hadn't been seen since dams were installed since the 1950s. After implementing these changes in the early 2000s, water is now present in Putah Creek during periods when salmon are migrating, and as a result, salmon have been consistently spotted in Putah Creek every year since. But we still don't know whether the salmon we're seeing in Putah Creek are wild-born fish, or if they're hatchery-born fish that got lost on their migrations back to their hatchery and ended up in Putah Creek by mistake. I aim to test this question by searching for secrets that salmon leave behind in their bones after they've died. I shoot laser beams at their bones to identify chemical signatures specific to when they were babies still living in rivers. And I can match these signatures to either rivers or hatcheries using a database generated by my collaborators. I found that in our earliest study year, less than 2% of the salmon in Putah Creek were wild-born fish. But by year 6, our most recent year, over 20% of the salmon in Putah Creek were wild-born. So although the majority of salmon in Putah Creek today are hatchery-born fish, my research does provide evidence that wild salmon populations can begin to emerge following dam management and restoration efforts. And this finding will be a critical blueprint for other rivers that are looking to restore their own salmon populations and ensure the threefold values of salmon are accessible to their communities into the future. So, what did the salmon say when we changed how the dam was operated? Damn, that's some nice habitat. Thank you. Thank you.
This is a wonderful topic. What attracted you to do research in Putah Creek salmon?
Before I started at the university, I was living here for a different job, and I moved to Davis in the middle of the pandemic. One of the only ways that I could get out and see the city was by going out to places like Putah Creek. That was such a special and formative experience to my time in Davis. And it's been so special getting to hear from community members that when I work on Putah Creek, they're so engaged and interested to hear about the salmon population. That's been so meaningful to me.
So a silver lining in the pandemic.
Absolutely,
of sorts,
absolutely.
Right? And do you have a mentor who's helped you get where you are today?
Yes, I've had quite a few mentors. My undergrad mentors have been phenomenal in choosing the path I went down. And then I'm so fortunate to have such a crew of mentors here at UC Davis. Some of them are here today, some of them are watching on Zoom, and together their collective efforts, I think one might be watching from Norway. They have truly been so helpful in me being able to do this meaningful work.
That's wonderful. I'm so glad you found good mentors and to guide you along the way. And how are our judges doing? Do I have time for one more question? Are we good? We're good. Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
And